Hey guys, it's Monday and we are on to Unit 3, week number 1, and this unit is going to cover nursery rhymes. For this unit, we are going to need some pom-poms and cotton balls, some cardboard, glue sticks, some empty tissue containers or small containers, colored paper or white construction paper or a small dry erase board, some post-it notes, small dry noodles and tea bags, a teapot and cups or saucers, 1 to 3 raw eggs, dry cereal, string, and a toy or plastic spider, and a lot of books on nursery rhymes. So let's get right into it. You're going to start Monday morning off with your opening calendar and poem and song, which is a new poem and song for this week, which I will include a screenshot of this time. As usual, do a picture walkthrough of your book first and get your child to try to guess what's going to happen before you go through and actually read the book aloud. And after you read the book aloud, you want to do a recap and recall. Ask your child to explain to you the things that have happened in the book. Our learning activity for today, which is a math-based activity, is sorting pom-poms. You can sort these pom-poms however you see fit according to whatever pom-poms that you have, by color, by size. Group them together however you see fit with your child, or ask your child how they want to sort these pom-poms. For our easy activity today, you are going to draw a simple picture with an outline of a lamb and have your child get some white cotton balls and glue them into place to make a nice little lamb, which coincides with the nursery rhyme that we're going to read today, which is Mary Had a Little Lamb, which you do that at the beginning of the day. That's your read aloud book today. So I started out the day today with some pom-poms and a muffin tin. I provided a few different tools for my daughter to transfer these pom-poms. I gave her a set of small tongs. I gave her some clothes pegs. She's used the tongs many times. It's an easy activity for her. The clothespin though, her hands very quickly tired with that motion of opening and closing so many times because we had quite a few pom-poms in an array of different colors in a little basket. So she actually bored of this activity quite quickly this morning. So I went and got a little measuring spoon, I believe it was a teaspoon, and I knew that would be very easy for her to scoop out because she was feeling disappointed that she couldn't maneuver the clothes peg enough to transfer all the pom-poms. So I just left the activity out on the table. I laid the spoon down there, didn't mention anything of it, and just let her get back to it, which she did a couple hours later. And then she did many transfers, but she only sorted them by color. We had 2 different sizes in these pom-poms. I suggested other ways to sort them, but she was only up for sorting them by color, so I left it at that for her and let her do her thing. We didn't spend too much time on the nursery rhyme today, as we are very familiar with this nursery rhyme, and I always change the lyrics to include her name. Instead of Mary Had a Little Lamb, we say Nola Had a Little Lamb. This week we won't be going to YouTube for any of these nursery rhymes, as I have this beautiful book that we got for her baby shower. So with the theme of the unit being nursery rhymes, you really want to introduce rhyming. This is something that we do periodically, but it's nothing that we've ever really zoned in on before. So as we were snacking in the kitchen today, we started talking about rhyming, and we were rhyming, well, I was rhyming some words together and Nola was really paying attention. So I came up with this game where she would say a word and then I would find a word that rhymed with it. So, first word she says, tiger. Really? Alexa, give me a word that rhymes with tiger. The answer is liger. Have you ever heard of a liger? Apparently, it's a tiger-lion hybrid that likes to swim like a tiger and enjoys the socializing like a lion. Who knew? Okay, we'll do this again. Second time. Open. Boop. What rhymes with open? Alexa, what word rhymes with open? Apparently, the rhyming word to open is clopen. And then when I asked Alexa what clopen was, she gave me the description of a place in Germany that was spelled completely different from the word clopen she had originally given me. So, you learn something new every day, I suppose. We continued on with this where I started giving more simple words like cat, hat, bat, you know, along those lines, and we started stringing along words that were rhyming together. Now, I would say a word and then give her a clue as to a word that would rhyme with it. For example, we were sitting in the kitchen, so I said the word bridge, and I pointed at our fridge, and she guessed fridge. With my assistance in that manner, she was able to find the rhyming word, or She was able to find a rhyming word, but she was not able to complete this on her own, and I didn't really expect her to. So this is something that is new to us, where I'm asking her to come up with the word instead of just pointing out the fact that we had words that rhymed. But I think this is going to be a really fun game that we are going to continue on for quite some time. So for the lamb activity, she didn't seem too excited about it when I was explaining to her what we were going to do. And we've glued a few things before, but I typically manage the glue. But this time I just cut the bottom out of a little styrofoam cup and dumped some glue in it, gave her a little popsicle stick that I had cut in half. I showed her how to apply the glue onto a cotton ball, which is very tricky if you've ever tried to glue a cotton ball. And she managed no problem on her own. She managed to keep the cotton balls all within the outline of the lamb that I gave her. And she really, really enjoyed it. That was it for the day. Another super simple, easy day with virtually no prep activities, with stuff we already had around. We are loving this program so far. Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, and today we are going to follow the same format we always follow. You're to open your day with your morning calendar and poem, which I didn't do a screenshot of the poem. It's super simple this week. You sing a rhyming "We Will Go" to the tune of Hi Ho the Dario. Real easy to remember. After that, you're going to review Mary Had a Little Lamb, the nursery rhyme that we sung yesterday, and then get into today's nursery rhyme, which is Hickory Dickory Dock. With this read aloud, as usual, you're to do a walkthrough with your child first, even if they're familiar with this nursery rhyme already. Maybe it's been a while since you've read this one, so go through your book or whatever you have on hand and try to get them to predict or recall what happens in this nursery rhyme before you do a read aloud. Today we're going to introduce the letter N, then we're going to go on to our learning activity, which is going to be followed by our easy activity. Today we didn't quite start out the day as we normally would with something in the middle of the table to grab my daughter's attention, because today isn't normal. Dad is home today, and usually that only happens on the weekends. On a typical weekday, Nola doesn't see her dad till he gets home from work, so that already created a lot of excitement and through our day a little, which I was completely anticipating that it was going to, so I wasn't trying to push anything first thing in the morning. We got on to today's nursery rhyme, Hickory Dickory Dock, which leads right into our learning activity for the day. For this one, you're going to need to create 2 dice. The program suggests that you wrap small Kleenex boxes, whatever you have that is a cube. I just took some little building blocks that we had, and one of them you're supposed to make numerical, containing the numbers 1 through 6 on each side. And then you need a second die that has words such as step, hop, jump, dance, twirl, roll, something like that, an action word. And then you're to sing through Hickory Dickory Dock again. And when the clock struck, you roll the dice, the number dice, and see what number it is. And then the mouse ran, and then the mouse, you roll the second die, and whatever action word is on there, you put those 2 together. So the clock struck 4 and the mouse danced down. You take turns with your child playing out those actions while singing the song. We did get into this. It didn't last too long, I will say. We had a few turns each, and then my daughter was kind of done and over with it. And quite honestly, that's all that we got through today. We were also supposed to introduce the letter N today. So you want to write this on a whiteboard or on a piece of paper. Talk about the letter N. You need to write it in a capital letter and a small letter. Talk about the sound that it makes, some familiar words that you know. I had a card done up on both sides that I did lay in the table later on in the day along with our nursery rhyme book, and I just took some little post-it notes and wrote a few words that begin with the letter N that Nola is familiar with. And this is also supposed to lead into our letter hunt today, which is our easy activity, where you take some post-it notes and write the letter N and hide them around your house, and then have your child go on a letter hunt again and try to find these. And she just was not feeling it today whatsoever. Like I said, the day is very different with Dad being home. It seems like such a small thing, but really in her world it's a very large thing. I wasn't pushing it. She was pretty wiped by mid-afternoon, but I am sure that we can work this letter hunt into the coming days. It's still pretty early in the week, so we will get the letter N in there. So that's it for today. Not much happened, but I would still consider today a success. It's Wednesday today, so we are to do the same format today. You open with your calendar routine along with the poem, a rhyming "We Will Go," and then we are going to get into today's nursery rhyme, which is Jack and Jill. This poem also correlates with our learning activity for the day. If you need to make the Jack and Jill nursery rhyme a little more interesting, you can always change the location, change the names, change what they were fetching, much like I had mentioned with the Mary Had a Little Lamb, how I changed it to my daughter's name. She finds that very, very amusing and wants to sing it over and over again. After you do your nursery rhymes and your poem, we're going to get into our learning activity today. And that is going to be followed by our easy activity. Are you hungry? We started out today with the nursery rhyme book on the table. I also incorporated the letter N card from yesterday since we needed to finish our work with the letter N because we really didn't do any of that yesterday. So I thought I would just sneak that in there today. And she noticed it as soon as she walked downstairs this morning. Boo! Are you hiding? Where's Colton? Where's Colton? Boo! So we started off the day right away with Jack and Jill. I also had a tray waiting for our learning activity. He's not used to my hair being down and being able to be played with. Whew! You sneaky boy. So, with the learning activity today, you're just to get some jugs of water. You can take this outside if you're able to do that. Otherwise, just get yourself a big bin. And this, you really have to know your child's level at this. Whether they can pour or not will determine what kind of jugs or tools you are going to have available for them. We are very familiar with pouring. Some of Nola's regular responsibilities are to feed our cat. And for that, I give her a small jug that has a spout and she has to pour the food in, and she has to pour the water in. She really loves it. So she is very familiar with pouring. So I got a little eyedropper from a little medical kit that we've had for a while and we've never used, because this is going to help her with the repetitive pincer grip and squeezing, much like with the clothes pegs earlier in the week. And it's also a different way for her to transport water. I set that all out for her and it was fantastic. We started out pouring with this right here, which she has recently got with a little gift, and it opens just like a milk carton and has a little spout, so it's easy for pouring. Which brings up a great point. If your child is new to pouring, don't feel that you have to use water. You can use dry goods such as cereal or rice, beans, anything like that. It's less messy, it's easier to clean up. We started out, when I started teaching her pouring enough and not just all of it, I used Cheerios and it worked really, really well, and anything that spilled, we ate it, right? So we started at the day where she was pouring the last little bit of her goldfish, which is not usually what we have for breakfast, but today it was. And then after that, she got right into the activity where I had all the water set up for her. I used small little shot glasses because that will help her again with how much to pour, pouring just enough and not all of what may be available to her. I also left a little jug in her tray too, because that is something that she pours with a lot. And she went to town with this. She was using the eyedropper. She was putting the jug in the bowl to collect water. She was filling up the cups with the bowl of water. She was filling up the jug with the cups of water and then redistributing it all over the place. And then in the end, she just ended up dumping everything into the tray and playing with the water tray, which was a lot of fun. While she was doing all of this, we talked about which way was easier to collect water, whether just submerging a cup in the bowl or in the tray itself. Excuse me. Or submerging the jug and stuff like that. It really opened up some great conversation about easy and hard ways to go about this. So Nola has been really not into this letter N hunt. So I think what we're gonna do is take the don't ask, just do approach, and I have a bunch of little Post-its here. So I'm gonna write the letter N on it and just place them all over the house, and then she will think it's great when she starts finding them. We just have to put them high enough so Colton can't reach, and I'm probably not gonna have a lot of footage of this because that would be a little weird if I was just always walking around with the camera. But we'll see if I can get any of that for you, and we'll see how this goes. What did you get? Ends! You found all your ends and you put them all up on the wall. How clever. What else did you find? Your N words?
And the last N.
You found the last N. That's correct. All 10.
I thought there was supposed to be 11.
I'm pretty sure there was only 10. You can keep looking if you want. That worked perfectly. And then as you saw, our letter N was a great success today. How, it just goes to show that sometimes you can do the same old thing, but you just need, we're gonna jump, but we just need a different approach. And today's approach, bang on. She was real happy with that and it went great. So we didn't do our easy activity for the day, was to get some cardboard and water and let your child experiment with painting with water and cardboard and how it will be wet and change the color and then it dries and it disappears. That is something that we have done many times already. So I figured I would rather substitute the alphabet hunt with the letter N today rather than just try to repeat something that she's more than capable of doing and won't really amaze her that much anymore. So that was it for today. Another great easy day, lots of fun activities with not a lot of prep time and lots of repeating of today's activity. She's already busy right now hiding the letter N's around the house for me to find. See you tomorrow. It's Thursday. Today we are to open with our morning calendar and a rhyming we will go poem, and then we are going to review Jack and Jill from yesterday and get into today's nursery rhyme, which is The Three Little Kittens. If you have a picture book, you can do a walkthrough of this nursery rhyme first, or if your child is already familiar with this, you can simply just sing it again and talk about the story. We will also be revisiting the letter N today, so you're going to go back through your nursery rhyme, see if your child can point out the letter N on just a few pages. You don't have to go through the whole nursery rhyme. Next, our learning activity is counting by threes, and that will be followed by our easy activity for the day. So let's get started. Today I started out with our nursery rhyme book and a pair of Nola's mittens in the center of the table. The mittens coincide with our easy activity for the day, but to me that just kind of made more sense as it correlates with the nursery rhyme that we sang today. So this didn't catch her attention right away first thing, which I thought it would, having her mittens on the table. So after a little while, when she was settled, I just said to her, I started humming the nursery rhyme of The Three Little Kittens, and I said, I have this nursery rhyme stuck in my head and I can't remember all the words. So we started to figure it out together, and then we went and read through the nursery rhyme, and then we did our letter N search, which she actually started pointing out the letter N before I even asked if she saw any, so I thought that was fantastic that she was noticing it right away on her own. Our easy activity for the day is the game of hot and cold. So you're to cut out a set of mittens out of paper, or if it's the season for you and you have mittens, I just grabbed a pair of Nola's mittens. Those are the ones that I had on the table for her, and I said, I'm going to hide these in the house and you're going to find them. So we did just the hide and seek first, and then I just simply started to add in the hot and cold. I tried this game with her once before and she wasn't really getting it, but it's been quite some time, so we took the time and the steps to act it out for her first, of if you're warm, you're getting close, and when you're hot, you're really close, they're really close by, and cold, the further you get away, the colder you get. And she seemed to understand it. We played it a few times, but she didn't really care for it too much, honestly, so this game didn't last too long with us. The learning activity for the day is counting and sorting by threes, as that is the number for the day as well. So you are to collect some items from your house that are similar to one another. So, and group them by three. So I had grabbed a few things, 3 little toy shakers that we had, 3 spoons from the kitchen, 3 little wooden sticks from a craft, 3 of our foam letters, things like that. I had this bin ready and I just pulled it out of a drawer, and a little later in the day I just said to her, I have some things that I need to put away, but I have to sort them out first. Can you give me a hand? She jumped right on that and got to the table and sorted them really, really quickly. This wasn't hard for her at all. So looking back now, I wish that I would have been a little broader in the items that I had collected, maybe from a particular room instead of very similar items. I would have spread them out a little bit more so she could group them together more easily, so I maybe would have grabbed like a plate, a cup, and a spoon from the kitchen instead of 3 spoons, and that might have been a little bit more challenging for her, and I think we're going to try that again this weekend. So that really rounds up what is laid out in the program for the day, but I will mention that later on in the day while we were having our bath, my son and daughter were in there and they were just kind of playing around. I don't remember the exact sentence that she had said, but she had the word can and man together. And after she said it, she looked at me and said, "Hey, I did a rhyme." And we cheered, and it was fantastic. And it was so great that she didn't intentionally put together a rhyme, but she recognized that she had put together a rhyme. And that was something that we did a few days ago. I think that was on Monday, actually. So considering that we're like 3-4 days later and that popped into her head and she noticed it right away, I think is totally awesome, because we haven't really said anything about rhyming since. So I see that this is something, again, that is really resonating with her and sticking with her. So it's something that I'm definitely going to keep current in our conversations throughout the day. And that's it for today. It's Friday, but actually it's really Thursday, because tomorrow, when it's really Friday, it's Christmas morning, and ain't nobody getting any of these activities done on Christmas morning or Boxing Day or the day after that, because we got some really good toys this year. So anyways, we are to start out our morning as we normally do with your morning calendar routine and your poem, a rhyming we would go, and then we are going to get into the new nursery rhyme of the day, which is Humpty Dumpty. After you go through Humpty Dumpty, it's a good idea to ask your child to recall and recap all of the nursery rhymes that we have gone over in the past week. Then we're going to get into our learning activity, and after that it's our easy activity. So let's get to it. This morning I started out with our nursery rhyme book in the middle of the table, along with a cut out egg and a sticker book to decorate that egg. This leads into our learning activity, which is to let your child decorate an egg. You're going to make your own Humpty Dumpty. We had a Easter sticker book that had a bunch of stickers, so I brought that up just in case it might pique her interest. We also had crayons, lots of stuff like that, but she just wanted to do the stickers. And what a great activity this was. Nola spent a solid hour decorating her egg this morning. I took notice while she was decorating, because I just kind of let her do her own thing here. She was grouping together, she was sorting the stickers that she was putting on. She put all of the little gold eggs together until she ran out of room, the little decorated eggs together, she put a bunch of hearts together, and then at the last minute she threw in a candy and an apple in case Humpty Dumpty got hungry. She also gave him little eyes and mustache too. And while we were going through this sticker book, she was sorting other stickers as well. She put all of the chicks together on one page, she put all of the butterflies together on another page, and this brought up the conversation of size. We were comparing the biggest one to medium size and small ones. We were also counting to see how many we had of each. And another little tip for sticker books, they're always really, really hard to get the stickers off. So I find if you peel the outer trim off of the page, then it becomes very easy for your child to peel the stickers off by themselves. So after you make your egg, you are to cut it into a few pieces, however many you think is appropriate for you guys, and make your own puzzle. Easy activity for the day is to get some eggs and a little marker, like real eggs from your fridge, draw little faces on them, and then get a cookie sheet and let these eggs fall off the wall onto the cookie sheet to contain the mess. No. Still no, not happening. Nola's a really well-behaved child, but I just see this leading into terrible things down the road, like smashed eggs all over the place. So my idea for this was to simply take our egg that we had made and cut it into puzzle pieces like we were going to, and then we would just sing Humpty Dumpty and push that egg off of the counter or the table and pretend that that's broken, and then have to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. Genius, if you ask me. Nola wasn't having any of it. We were not cutting her egg. She considered it a couple of times, but then quickly retracted that decision. So we left our day for just decorating the egg. She didn't want to hang it up on her wall yet. She was still playing with it and having fun. So we left it at that. And that is our week. Another fantastic week of lots of fun and easy, virtually no prep, really easy prep activities. And another week done, just like that. And I would just also like to mention that how much previous activities that we have done keep popping up totally on their own without any verbal prompting. Like today when Nola was sorting her stickers in the book and on her egg, you know, I didn't ask her to sort or do anything but decorate her egg, and this is what she chose to do. And that just yet again proves to me that even though we've done very similar activities such as sorting and counting and letters and stuff like that, just approaching it in a different way and the constant repetitiveness of it that we do in this program throughout the week really sticks in her little brain, and that is fantastic. We are still loving this program and we can't wait to get into next week. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're considering perhaps starting some preschooling at home with your toddler, then please consider subscribing and follow along. Bye.